Good morning, everyone. My morning greetings to all our school administrators and school ICT coordinators all over Dipit Bohol who are in attendance to this division level virtual re-eco training of the National Inset on Remote Learning. This will run for 3 days, however, it is only 3 hours per day. Of course, my morning greetings to our training facilitators and resource speakers, Mr. Fernando Inad, Mr. Henry Nerison Jr., Mr. Glenn Horanio, Mr. Jimboy Valioso, Mr. Albert Albasto, Miss Araceli Torrefranca, and Mr. Jaime Kinga Jr. Our dearest school heads and ICT coordinators, the advent of the 21st century skills in the K-12 curriculum has pushed every one of us to embrace information and communication technology. The used to be the mindset, or the used to be our mindset that ICT is for millennials only is already a thing in the past. As much as our works right now relies on information and communication technology. From the preparation of school forms to lesson planning, we can all agree that these things that become or have become very challenging without ICT. Information and communication technology indeed has become an imperative tool in disposing our work regardless of our ranks in the Department of Education. In fact, with the current pandemic, we are pushed forward to embrace ICT. It is as if that we have transitioned to almost all virtual undertakings, even from meetings to trainings to conferences and now delivering instruction, otherwise known as remote teaching for the teachers and remote learning for our learners. It is a universal fact that the Zoom meetings, the MS Teams, the Google Meet, the Discord, and even the Facebook Messenger applications have been rebranded to perform as learning tools on top of their teleconferencing functions. We in the Department of Education are so fortunate to have these companies supporting us in this pandemic time by allowing us to experience premium services at no cost. We can all agree that declining these offers is extremely stupid behavior and that the most we can do is embrace them. The question is, are we ready? Do we know how to use these platforms? So, my dear colleagues and ICT coordinators, I know that a lot of trainings have already been conducted to the field, specifically to the teachers in the use of different ICT platforms in delivering instruction, but lesser to none on record, intended specifically for school heads. As technical assistance providers in your own station, it is but imperative that you know about these things, for how can you assess your direct reports if you do not have the same skills as theirs? Thus, you need to be skilled the same or even better. This 3-day virtual training is a good opportunity for you to not only learn these things but to put them into practice until you mastered them. After all, schoolheads are supposed to be masters of anything related to teaching as your job description requires. This 3-day training, my dear schoolheads, is a relaxed version specifically intended for you, our dear schoolmates. Thus, I urge you to ask questions for things that are not clear and raise all the challenges you will encounter. After all, this is the very reason why you are divided into legislative districts so that all your needs can be easily addressed. Lastly, I urge everyone to stick to this training up until the very end and comply all the outputs required. This training is plotted for 3 days so you can use your certificate for career development or career advancement. So do not just attend to grab one, but make the most out of it by actively participating. It is my desire to equip you, our dear schoolheads, with ICT related skills, not because the real world of our work now requires it, but for your personal and professional development as well. I wish all of you then the best of luck, and may this training empower you so you could empower others. God bless and more power to each and everyone. Handang isip, handa ang bukas. Isulong ang edukalidad because in DepEd Bohol, we care for all. Bihol, Bohol.